What's happening? Today I'm going to discuss life's beautiful sadness. And you might question what I'm saying right now and going, how can sadness be beautiful? And I also questioned the same thing back in the day. And also when I found it. And if you're a cultural enthusiast of South Park, you'll know that this is a phrase that Butters uses in the series where they go, "Why are you sad?" And he goes, "I am sad. But the sadness I'm feeling right now is beautiful." Not all sadness is bad and it's sad. Some feelings, good and bad, they're meant to be felt, not escaped. And there's a clarity in that quiet reflection period of sorrow. And how we've got to look at it is that not all sadness as well, or really any sadness, because it's a feeling, it can't be seen as weakness. It has to be seen. It has to be seen as sort of that softness that we all need to sort of find and not neglect, and all try and be masculine and hard and serious. We've got to find these moments where we can just reflect in our sorrow and go, I actually needed to feel this to just keep the balance of me being. We can also see it as sort of the grief in our life. And grief doesn't always lead to loss, where sometimes it can just sort of come from distance. It can come from a change where you might think of the word grief of losing someone. But really, what have you lost other than them moving further away or them changing their goals to the better? It should be as a positive thing, which is why this sadness can be seen as beautiful, where you go, I'm quite sad, but seeing this progress in someone, it's great. And it's also inspiring and maybe something that I also want to do. You can mourn who you was before, even when you're proud of who you have started to become. Where a lot of the time, when I'm thinking and I see the growth I've made, I always mourn and question myself of, I'm doing it for him, which is the old me, like a picture of me as a kid. I'm doing it for me. And then I also question of, why didn't I start sooner? I do leave myself with these rhetorical questions where I don't have the answers to them, where I go, why didn't I start sooner? Or just simply, why did I wait so long? Why did I wait so long when I had some of the answers? I didn't have them all, but I had some. There's also there's bittersweet in the sweetness of life, where even the best things will be bittersweet, and even the things that will feel bittersweet will have that positive impact where you go, that was actually like, I didn't think about this part of this, but it was good. There's also a beauty in the ache of life, the aches and pains, where how much better does music sound when you're sad? There's certain songs that just hit different at night or when you're sad, and that's for a reason. That's for a reason, because we're allowed to feel different things. We're allowed to be happy. We're allowed to be sad. And the different genres of music reflect this, where we go, let me just put this on, because although I'm sad, I could put now a happy song on and change my mood, and I could do the opposite, where I'm happy and I put a sad song on just to sort of get to that point of relaxation and chill and cool down, rather than just be hyper, hyper, hyper all day. How much better does the rain hit when your heart's feeling heavy, when you felt something, when something's really broken your heart? It's that time for reflection where you go, the rain is coming down. And now I'm going to reflect. I'm going to look outside, look at the rain, and I'm going to reflect. But nothing does beat tropical rain in America. I've told you this. It's one of my top 5 things in the world. Tropical rain. Rain when it's warm. So you can go outside in the rain and still be warm. There's nothing better in the world. Sadness slows you down, but in a good way. Because what sadness does is it creates time for ourselves to reflect on the happy and the beautiful sadness. We also romanticize the past for a reason. And this is because nostalgia touches the sort of sharp edges and it softens them. It softens the sharp edges of our pain, where there are so many things in the past that we loved. Mario, which I spoke about yesterday. Dragon City on holiday. FIFA 16, packing my first legend. Pokemon. This is all just games, but also just sort of being our younger selves, spending time with family more, and just sort of being naive to the struggles of life. All this nostalgia is able to soften the pain, which is why we continue to go back for it, which is fine. Missing moments, fear of missing out, FOMO, it doesn't mean that we're stuck. It means that it means that we're figuring it out. And it means that this life we had is sort of altering to what it was before. And that also reflects in our mood, where it can go from deep sadness to reflecting and seeing this is actually a beautiful sadness. And I didn't think about it until now, but now I am. We also need to make sure that we let ourselves feel. Let ourselves feel things. And not just judgment, where we don't need to rush. The get over it phrase, the get over it model of life. Where sometimes, or in the past, you could have been in a relationship. And one of the boys will say, just get over it. And you know deep down, it's not that simple. Because have you had time to reflect? Yes or no? And if you have, what have you actually reflected on? Have you reflected on the person? How they made you feel? Or yourself? And this is something we have to do, where we can't rush into it, because we have to hit all sections of reflection and go, have I covered all bases to sort of heal? And some sadness doesn't have to heal. Sometimes it can settle, and sometimes it will settle for better, where it will settle as a feeling and turn into that inspiration for better, where you've reflected on it and you go, I'm not going to make this same mistake. It settles as the mistake, and it flips on its head to become a solution for the future. And whilst we feel these feelings, whilst we are taking that time to reflect, we don't need to then fill that time with performing. We just need to live how we were meant to. And this is to feel judgment, to feel feelings, to feel pain, to feel the beautiful sadness, to be happy. But we don't have to perform. We just have to be ourselves. There's also a strength in the softness of life, where being a sensitive human being is not a flaw. Being a vulnerable individual is not a flaw. It's a sign you're still open to yourself. It's a sign you're still open to change. And sometimes you can let the sadness pass through and not define you. But if you look at sadness and flip it on its head as a beautiful sadness, beautiful sadness is what reflects that you still care. You still look out for people. You take time to look after yourself. And everything that makes the mold of taking time for you first and then worrying about it later, or worrying about it now, so that, like I said, you can flip that mistake into the solution for the future.